there, that in there. So next we'll do this end. Wick in the end there, little felt wick. So basically the only bit you leave out is that. Right, so that's got to go in there that way round. Well, I think we've sorted out the end float. I did get some new shims. Mainly replace that old knackered old thing there. So I've used one of the old brass ones and a couple of new brass ones. And I also had to make a new armature shim. Yeah, so I just made a new shim from this bit of brass here. Yeah, quite hard to cut thin shims, but yeah, I managed to get one thinner than what was on there anyway, so yeah, that has reduced the need for so many shims on the end, although it might have been better just to buy a pack of the really thin ones. But yeah, we're there. I think we're there now, so ready to reassemble. So I'll just get some high melting point grease on the bearings, put everything back together, and yeah, I think we'll be ready to give it a try. Obviously got to put the brushes and everything all back in and the points back on. Got to reassemble this with the little Brightspark capacitor on there, so we'll do that. But yeah, we're sort of getting there now, I think. Right, okay, now we can put on the fibre ring. Try to think which way that went. That way? Yeah. Yeah, must be that way. Right, that. And steel washer. This spring. Now that can go on there. Tab washer, and finally the nut. Right, I've now need the little special tool just to be able to tighten that up. That in there, that in there. Not sure that's the right size. What's that one? Oh, that's better. Needs a deep socket. Right, I think that will do that. So I'll just bend these tabs up. Now there is in the instructions a method of checking the this is at the right tension. Just need to make one of these locking things up here, locking plate. Yeah, I can't see we're going to be any different to what it was when it came off, really. So, yeah, I think we'll be all right with that. Oh yeah, tabs have got to be pressed up. Then we can put the bushes and things in. A new earth brush. Yeah, interesting. There's a little groove down the side of there. There's no groove in there to correspond with it, so I guess it doesn't matter which way it goes. There's a bit of muck in there. Maybe not. I don't feel quite right that. That's better. Right, so that's two brushes in. So next we'll do this end. Right, so this is where we need to fit the little Brightspark condenser. What we do is do this. Cool. Right, there we are. Just had to get it in the voice to get a good grip on it. Oh, there's a little wick in the end there, a little felt wick. Remember to put some oil on that. And there should be some insulated, yeah, so there's a little sleeve in there, insulation sleeve, and another one there. This is the thing that needs to come off. Wondering if this sleeve needs to come out first. Quite possibly. How tight that is going to be. Quite tight. And we got a little punch. Right, there we are. Just push that up. That's off. That's off. A little bit of a take that out before we lose it. Okay, so that's what we should end up with. That needs to go on there that way round. That needs to go through there, I think. Let's have a look. Because that needs to go between. So it's going to have contact there, that side, and contact that side. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so it must still need that there. Doesn't want to go in very easy. Let's just give that a little bit of a deburr. Right, see if that's any better. Oh, there we go. Right, so that's that little insulating sleeve in place. So then we want that on top of there. Yeah, that on top of there. That through there. So basically the only bit you leave out is that. And right, that can go back in there. I have previously cleaned these faces up at the points. Getting that. Right. cam plate. That needs to go in, that bit there. Cam plate needs to go like that. So that's your auto advance. That's your manual advance retard. That's that. Got a little bit here left over. I can't remember where that come from. Yeah, I'll have to have a look at my video, stripping down video, because I can't remember where that little brass thing come from. Right, so that basically goes in there. That will only go in one way. Like that, centre screw. Where did that go? Right, nothing else is there? Oh, hang on, forgot that. Take that off again. Little spring clip. There. Yep. That on there. Oh, yeah. Should have put that on there yet. Was that under there? I can't remember why it would even be there. A washer underneath. Actually, yeah, that's the tab washer to hold that in place, isn't it? Of course it is. Which actually hasn't done anything because those tabs are still up and the screw came out. Well, they're just springy, I see. Right. There we are. Put this back on now. Curvy bit up. See what that does, unless it just takes the fatigue out of the spring. Point spring, maybe. Right. So we should now be able to test this for spark. Right, I'll get this set up and we'll see if we've got spark. Okay, let's give this a little look. I think if we have this light off, that might be a little bit better. Might have to turn the other light off as well, but we'll see how this goes. Ooh, little drive. Let's come off. Right, try and keep hold of the drive gear. Well, hopefully you can see that. It depends on the frame rate of the camera, whether that comes across or not. What sort of gap have we got there? We've got about an 8 mil gap. Let's just turn the other light off. Just to make sure we can see it. Pitch black now, I reckon. Oh, we come off. The drive has come off. I think when I did this before, I set it up in the lathe. Probably would have been a little bit better. Yeah, hopefully you can see that. Yeah, I think we're working. Put the lights back on. Even though my drive keep falling off the end here. I suppose I could have put a Jubilee clip on, that might have been better. Well, I think we can say that's done. Got a lovely spark there now. Yeah, so all that's left to do is oh, I've got the lurgy at the minute. I'm not quite with it, and yeah, throat is all sore and everything. What's it going to say? Oh yeah, so need to refit the dynamo. I'll just give that a quick check over. I had a look at the brushes the other day, they were fine. Yeah, and then that can all go back on. Just have to retime. I think I'm gonna replace this bit of lead. I've got some new lead somewhere, so I might just replace that. And I did get somewhere, where is it? Oh, there we are. Did get a new little, you can see that in there, little brass end to go on the HT lead, which goes up this end. You just solder that on, and also a new little nut for there. Right, let's get all this out of the way. I'll take this off for now. Like that. Yeah, I think I'll call that a success. Yeah, I did just that hole that I had drilled for the other wire to come through for the electronic ignition. I did just find a little solid grommet to go in there, so that'll work okay for that. I don't think that catches on anything. Shouldn't do. If not, I'll have to buy a new one of these. Right. Yeah, so basically just got to put everything back on the bike and then give it a try. And I did just get some grind and paste on there and just redo that taper, so that's a better fit. Yeah. Right, hopefully you can see this. I'll get a bit of torchlight in here. See this here? I think that's araldite. A little bit of wear on there. I think this Magneto in the past must have come loose. and moved over and possibly done some damage here. Now that's the seal that came out, and that was in the wrong way round. I don't know why I didn't notice it before. That was in that way round. Should be that way round, but it's the wrong one. Well, I say it's the wrong one. I assume it's the wrong one because that's the new one I ordered, and it's much thicker. Yeah, so I do need to sort that out as well before I put that back in. Just remembered about that. Yeah, that one is only a single lip seal, whereas this one is a double lip. Right, so that's got to go in there that way round. But before that, I'm going to have to clean all this araldite out of here. I think what I'll do when I put the seal in, I'll just put a bit of Permatex in there. That should hold that in place. Yeah, I've just got to clean all this up first. Yeah, just when you thought it was all over. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's either araldite or I don't know. Araldite that hasn't set completely hard, maybe, because it's got a little bit of give in it. I can't see what else that would be. Right, I'll get on and do that. Right, I did in the end test this, and it was actually fine. So all I did is made this little, I'll take this off in a minute so you can have a look at it. Made this little locking plate up here, and just got my little torque wrench on the end there, and just went to the lowest setting, which is about 4 foot-pounds. I'll put this in. This is in Newton meters, so that's about 5 Newton meters, and it was clicking before it was turning. Then set the torque wrench to the upper range, which is 10 foot-pounds or 13 Newton meters, and yeah, it's not clicking. So it's somewhere between those two. So we're in spec there. Yeah, so that is all fine. I'll just take this off and show you what it is. Probably not the most precise, but it does the job. It's just a little bit tricky sort of filing to do, really. So basically that's what it is. Just got these teeth which match up with them, obviously. Fits in there. So it's just that bit bolted onto this plate, which is then screwed on with the standard screws to those fixing holes, and yeah, does seem to work okay. So yeah, that wasn't too bad in the end. The other thing I've got to do, which I forgot, was adjust the points, because obviously that's all changed there now. Yeah, so we'll have to do that. It's probably easier to do that before I go back on the bike. So yeah, I won't video that because it's fairly straightforward. Okay, well, we're all back together. Magneto refitted. All in there. I did get a new bolt because one that was in there wasn't right. Yeah, that was what was in there, wasn't quite right. It never did tighten up properly. And also made a little brass sort of bit there to go over the trunnion end. What else did I do? Oh, I've done the timing. It's just all timed up. Wiring's all Made a bit neater in there. I've got it plugged into the charger at the moment, but I'll take that off. And, well, we'll give it a little kick over and see how she goes. Retard the ignition a bit. No choke. Don't think we need it. Well, there we are. I think I'll call that done for now. You know what it's like. Yeah. Yeah, carburetor just needs a little bit more fine tuning. It does run a little bit rich, so I think I might need a new needle. What I'd really like to do, because it's got a concentric in there at the moment, that should have a monoblock. The monoblock I have got is pretty knackered, so yeah, when funds allow, I think that could be getting a new monoblock, and I think that will be about there then. I think that might be slightly over advanced. You can just hear it on the lever when I push the lever, the advanced lever, fully shut, or yeah, fully forward if you like. It just start to falter a bit, so yeah, I've probably got the time a little bit out. Yeah, so but that's something I can just fiddle around with, like when I feel like it. Got the mic wire all wrapped around the tripod. Yeah. Yeah, so this is the actually made this box for timing the Magneto. I made that a while ago. There is a video on that if you're interested in how to make one. So I will leave a link to that or you can find it in the playlist, in the B31 playlist. I think it's in there. Yeah, so I'll leave a link to that at the end of the video. Yeah, it does work quite well. It does have just has this blue LED on there, which when the points are about to open, that goes out, or close, that goes out. I can't remember which way. Yeah, close. When that closes, that goes out, and also this little buzzer, and plug headphones in. Yeah, yeah, that works well. Certainly easier than using the Rizzler. Which I know is the old way of doing it, but yeah, there we are. Right, so all I need now is some dry weather, because I'm not going to take it out in the wet. I don't particularly like cleaning bikes, so yeah, wait for some dry weather, and yeah, I'll give it a little road test, but I think we should be okay really. But yeah, certainly sound okay. And well, thanks for watching, and yeah, I'm sure there'll be other projects in the future coming up. Yeah, so yeah, if you haven't already done so, please subscribe. Please like the videos, it does help. I don't get many views. Yeah, it's hard to get YouTube to promote you. That's why I put videos out regularly, because if you don't, YouTube will just totally ignore you, and you'll end up getting no views. So yeah, I do like to put regular videos out. Yeah, so there we are. BSA B31.